Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, August the 31st. Gosh, the last day of August. That means meteorological fall actually begins tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. There's a look at the SkyCam network from Trussville. We have a few leftover clouds this morning. And from the Jasper SkyCam, looking out over the city of Jasper, we can see a few clouds on the horizon. In the upper atmosphere, the central Alabama area remains on the eastern periphery of a large upper ridge that has been off to our west for a number of days. That ridge keeping temperatures kind of warm across much of the country. As you can see, the early morning around 5 a.m. temperatures across the nation. A lot of 70s there, all the way up into the Great Lakes area. For central Alabama, we're sitting in the lower and mid 70s for the most part. Looks like it's going to be a warm weekend for us, and we do have a few showers on radar. Well, actually one sort of moderate cluster, I guess you'd say, between Gadsden and Rome, Georgia. And the showers seem to be decreasing during the last hour or so. The orange on the watch warning map is some heat advisories, and then we have some flash flood watches out in the southwestern United States. QPF indicating a good deal of precipitation along the eastern part of the country as we develop a bit of a trough over the next several days. And we stay on that eastern periphery of the upper ridge. Storm Prediction Center outlooking a slight risk in a band from just a little bit to the northwest of Kansas City, northward to the Canadian border. And then on day 2, we're not looking for any specific outlook area. And the tropics, well, they're sort of active, but nothing looking too serious for development. We are entering that period of time when we're approaching the climatologically active period, September being the biggest month for the tropics. But neither of these areas likely to develop into much over the next 48 hours. The moisture has increased, as we can see from the precipitable water chart for midday today, and with Cape values expected to be above the 2,000 mark. It looks like we could see an isolated severe thunderstorm, much like we saw yesterday, as showers remain more active from about Birmingham eastward, but we'll still see scattered showers even in west central Alabama, as we can see from the GFS 06E GFS model run. For the upper air pattern by Sunday, we see that the ridge still is to our west, so we're kind of on that eastern periphery, but we're watching the development of that shortwave trough coming across the western Great Lakes that's going to dive in on Monday, dive into the eastern U.S., and that could, of course, help to bring a weak front down into the Ohio and Tennessee river valleys. And that certainly should increase chances for precipitation, I think, probably on Monday. Some pretty good chances for precipitation. Tuesday, the trough seems to come by fairly quickly, and that means that I think on Tuesday we're going to see a bit of a transition day as we go from the high moisture to something maybe a little bit drier. And certainly by the time we get to Wednesday, we should have some drier air in the area. However, the cool down that we've sort of been advertising doesn't look like it's really going to be that much of a cool down. Yeah, we're going to see some lowered humidities and the temperatures will drop a little bit, but as you can see on Wednesday, the height values around the 576 values, so it doesn't look like there's going to be a real strong temperature change with this. The troughiness and the fact that the ridge is still to our west remains with us, and so we're in a slight northwesterly flow. So with that, we're going to have to watch any kind of mesoscale convective complexes. The GFS is not bringing any of those to fruition, but we need to be watching for those because that'll be a small-scale feature. We stay on the edge of that periphery on Friday, and I think for the most part we'll probably be dry as the moisture is pushed a little bit further to the south. So like the GFS map for Friday, the surface map is showing, we should see the showers primarily to the south. By Saturday, though, it looks like the ridge pushes in a little bit, and so I think moisture will probably increase a little bit, and so therefore we'll probably be back into some daily heat-driven showers and thunderstorms. But notice on Saturday, a week from today, that you see that pretty strong closed low coming across the northwestern United States. That digs in, and by the 12th, it looks like we could see a real change in the weather pattern for the eastern part of the country with a strong trough and certainly what might be a nice hint at fall. But unfortunately, the GFS in the voodoo country here, the long-range forecast out at 384 hours, is suggesting that once again we get back to a ridge pattern. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video. Expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. In the meantime, I want to say congratulations to Charles Daniel of our staff, our morning meteorologist at ABC 3340, for the birth of his two sons, twins. And I know he's very excited, and that happened on Friday. So congratulations, Charles. Expect to have the next one posted again first thing on Sunday morning. Have a great day. Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.